For more than 6 decades, Mick Jagger has been the face of one of the greatest rock bands the world has ever known. To millions of fans, he is unstoppable. The electrifying frontman of the Rolling Stones, a performer whose boundless energy has defied age, injury, and every expectation of what a rock star should be. On stage, Mick Jagger appears fearless, confident, untouchable. But behind the flashing lights and roaring crowds lies a story marked by heartbreaking loss, personal tragedy, and moments that nearly changed the course of his life forever. For every sold-out stadium, there has been a painful goodbye. For every standing ovation, there has been a chapter filled with grief. This is the heartbreaking story of the tragedies that shaped Mick Jagger's extraordinary life. Long before he became one of music's biggest legends, Michael Philip Jagger grew up in Dartford, England. Music quickly became his passion. When he reunited with childhood friend Keith Richards, neither of them could have imagined they were about to change rock and roll forever. The Rolling Stones exploded onto the music scene in the early 1960s. Their rebellious image made headlines. Their music topped charts around the world. As their popularity grew, so did the pressure. Fame arrived almost overnight. But fame often comes with a price that audiences never see. One of the earliest tragedies to affect Mick came in 1969. Brian Jones had been one of the band's founding members. Brilliant, creative, unpredictable, but years of personal struggles and substance abuse created tension within the group. Eventually, Brian left the band. Less than a month later, shocking news spread around the world. Brian Jones had died after being found at the bottom of his swimming pool. He was only 27 years old. The loss devastated many who had known him from the beginning. Although relationships inside the band had become strained, Mick understood they had lost not only a former bandmate, but a friend who helped create the Rolling Stones. His death marked the beginning of one of rock music's most tragic chapters. Only months later came another event that would haunt the band's history. The Altamont Free Concert in California was intended to celebrate peace in music. Instead, it descended into chaos. Violence erupted throughout the event. During the concert, old Meredith Hunter was fatally stabbed near the stage. The horrifying incident shocked the world. Although Mick Jagger was performing when the violence unfolded and had no control over the events, the tragedy became forever linked with the band's legacy. For years afterward, many questioned whether anything could have prevented that terrible night. The emotional weight of Altamont lingered long after the music stopped. As the decades passed, the Rolling Stones continued achieving remarkable success. Albums became classics. Tours broke attendance records. Generations of fans embraced their music. From the outside, it appeared that nothing could slow Mick Jagger down. But personal heartbreak was never far away. In March of 2014, Mick experienced one of the most painful losses of his life. His longtime partner, fashion designer Lorenz Scott, died unexpectedly. The news stunned fans around the world. Those close to Mick described him as deeply heartbroken. Friends said he struggled to understand how such a devastating loss could happen. The Rolling Stones immediately postponed their Australian and New Zealand tour so Mick could grieve in private. For someone accustomed to performing before tens of thousands of people, silence suddenly replaced applause. Behind closed doors, there were no concerts, no cameras, only grief. In later interviews, Mick spoke carefully about moving forward while honoring Loren's memory. It was a reminder that fame cannot protect anyone from heartbreak. No amount of success can erase personal loss. As Mick entered his 70s, many believed his performing days were coming to an end. After all, few rock stars continue touring into their later years. But once again, life presented another unexpected challenge. In 2019, doctors discovered that Mick needed heart valve surgery. Fans everywhere feared the worst. Concerts were postponed. Speculation spread across social media. Could this finally be the end of Mick Jagger's legendary career? Fortunately, the procedure was successful. After months of recovery and rehabilitation, Mick returned to the stage with the same incredible energy that had amazed audiences for decades. His recovery inspired millions. It proved that determination and modern medicine could accomplish extraordinary things. Yet perhaps the most emotional chapter was still ahead. In August of 2021, the Rolling Stones lost Charlie Watts. For nearly 60 years, Charlie had been far more than the band's drummer. He was one of Mick's closest friends, the steady heartbeat behind countless unforgettable songs. Unlike the wild image often associated with rock music, Charlie was known for his calm personality, quiet humor, and unwavering professionalism. His passing at the age of 80 sent shockwaves through the music world. For Mick, it meant saying goodbye to someone who had shared nearly every important chapter of his adult life. Their friendship had survived changing musical trends, endless world tours, and the pressures of global fame. Now that chapter had come to an end. When the Rolling Stones returned to the stage after Charlie's death, every performance carried new emotion. Tributes appeared during concerts. Fans applauded not only the music, but the memories. For Mick, performing without Charlie beside him could never feel exactly the same. Even after experiencing so much loss, Mick refused to let grief define him. Instead, he continued doing what he has always loved, making music, connecting with audiences, celebrating the friendships and memories that built one of history's greatest bands. Many people see only the excitement of a Rolling Stones concert, the flashing lights, the legendary songs, the seemingly endless energy. But they don't always see the years of sacrifice behind every performance. The loved ones lost, the friends remembered, the emotional weight carried quietly from one tour to the next. Perhaps that is why Mick continues to perform with such passion. Every concert has become more than entertainment. It is a celebration of those who helped make the journey possible. As he has grown older, Mick has also spoken about appreciating life more deeply. Time changes everyone's perspective. The things that once seemed most important begin to fade. Relationships matter more. Health becomes precious. Simple moments become unforgettable. For someone who has spent decades under the brightest spotlight imaginable, those lessons have become increasingly meaningful. Today, Mick Jagger's legacy extends far beyond record sales and sold-out stadiums. He helped redefine rock music, inspired generations of performers, and proved that age does not have to limit creativity or passion. Yet perhaps his greatest achievement is something far less visible. He kept moving forward through heartbreak, through tragedy, through unimaginable loss. Every goodbye could have become a reason to stop. Instead, each one became another reason to honor the people who were no longer there. Brian Jones, Meredith Hunter, or the Burkesets, Lorenz Scott, Charlie Watts. Different stories, different moments, one lifetime filled with memories that no amount of fame could erase. Looking back now, it becomes clear that Mick Jagger's life has never been only about music. It has also been about resilience, about learning how to carry grief without allowing it to destroy hope, about finding the strength to step back onto the stage, even when the people who once stood beside you are no longer there. Millions know Mick Jagger as one of the greatest entertainers of all time. But behind the swagger, the confidence, and the unforgettable performances is a man who has experienced the same heartbreak that touches every family sooner or later. Loss does not care how famous someone becomes. It does not disappear because of wealth, applause, or success. It simply becomes another part of life's story. Perhaps that is the real reason audiences continue to admire Mick Jagger after all these years. Not simply because he can still command a stage, but because he has shown remarkable resilience in the face of profound loss. Every performance today carries echoes of those who helped build the incredible journey. Every song is, in its own way, a tribute, and every standing ovation is a reminder that while tragedy may leave lasting scars, it does not have to silence the music. For Mick Jagger, that may be the greatest lesson of all. Life can be heartbreaking. It can take away people we love without warning. But as long as we remember them, honor them, and keep moving forward, their legacy lives on. And perhaps that is why, after all these years, Mick Jagger continues to walk onto the stage. Not only for the fans, but also for the friends and loved ones whose memories will forever be part of every note he sings.